For this project, I'm going to be using the 5.75 mil hook size. Anything around 6 will be fine. I just have some stitch markers here on hand. I don't think we'll need them, but they're always handy to have whenever crocheting a project, just in case. I've got my embroidery scissors, which I use for my crochet projects as well. Now you're going to need 2 colours. I've got my cotton 8 ply here, the 4 Seasons Flinders range. Each of these bundles is about 50 grams. I'm also going to use a brown as well. Usually I like to keep the same type of yarn together, so this is just 100% cotton. However, this here is 100% acrylic. So I'm not sure how the difference in yarn weights is going to go. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but there's a slight difference in thickness, but I don't think that would really matter. Okay, so you want to pull out your yarns and start working with them together. So we're just going to do a slip knot onto our hook. So now you've got the yarn on the hook. What we're going to do is I'm going to chain 30 for now. We are going to then increase from it, so the 30 chains won't be the final width, but I just find 30 is a good size for a bag, and you can always adjust it for your preference, but we're just going to chain 30. Okay, I've got my 30 chains here. I'm looking at this now and it's actually looking not as big as I would like it to be at the start. So even though I said we are going to be increasing it still, I think I might just do an extra 5 chains now just to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's our 35 chains. I'm happy with that for the start. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just do an extra chain, but this doesn't count to this total amount. This is just so we can start the next step. So we do an extra chain, and now we're going to do single crochets all the way along our yarn. So going into the chain second from the hook, so not that first one we've just done here, we want to go into this next one and do a single crochet. And then now working into all those chains along this edge, doing single crochets all the way along. So I'm just doing my last single crochet in that stitch. So you can see I've done single crochets all the way along. Now from here, what we're going to do is do another single crochet into that same stitch we just came out of. This is our increase, like that. So now what we're going to do is turn your work, and we're going to work along this back edge now. So you can see in this first gap here, I'm doing my first single crochet, and then into that next one just there. Making sure you go through both colors. And then just doing this all the way along until our last few stitches. Okay, we have just done those single crochets on that side. I've just done the last one in here. Now we're going to do this single crochet in that same stitch for the increase. Just like that. And then now we're just going to do single crochets back going down this side all the way along. Okay, I've done the single crochet in that last one here. So now going on to that corner stitch, I mean, it doesn't really matter which one exactly, as long as it's on the end, is where we're going to do our single crochet increase. So that's our first and then second. And now just do one single crochet in every one, going back up the other way. Okay, I've done my few rounds with the increase on the end stitches. So I forgot to count how many rows I did. I believe it's, by just the look of the stitches, 4 on each side. So do with that as you will. This is the base, and then we're just going to work up from here. So that's essentially how wide it's going to be. You don't want it too wide because we're not adding any wire or structure to this bag. It's just going to be really floppy and hard to manage. So this is a good width. We are going to bring it up quite a bit, so there's still going to be plenty of room inside. But from here, now you've done the base, you've done all the increases on the end. We're just going to be doing single crochets all the way around, no need for increases. So you can see I didn't do a increase there. We're just going to be working single crochets all the way up. In the past, I've done 15 rounds, 15 rounds starting from this point all the way up. Other times I've done a bit more. I've done about 25, I think it was. It really just depends on your preference on how tall you want the bag. Just before I continue, I thought I might recommend adding in a stitch marker to this end stitch here. This way, since we are counting how many rounds we are doing, and if you're like me and crochet while watching a show, you might lose track of where your start point is and how many rows you've actually done. So this way, I've put a stitch marker in at the first row, so as I work up, I can just count from there. Okay, I'm working my single crochets into every stitch, and I just thought I'd check in and show you how it's looking so far. So you can see here it's starting to take shape. It's quite a good size because like in lengthways with the increases. So I believe 35 would probably be the best chain amount to start with. But yeah, I've done, how many rows have I done so far? I'm on my 4th there. So you can see it's already starting to take shape quite a lot, and I'm planning to do at least 15. So I'll check in when I've done that, but this is how it's looking so far. Okay, I have done my 15 rounds. So with this stitch marker acting as a first, counting up this side, there's 15 stitches. It doesn't matter too much. It really just depends on your height. You don't have to worry so much about counts. We don't need to have a set number of counts to then proceed. It's just purely putting a number to how high you want it. You can always measure it. So this here, for reference, is about 130 mils, so about 13 centimeters, which I don't mind the height. I think I want to keep it like that. But you can always add a few more rows if you prefer. I forgot to mention, on that last round, make sure you stop 2 chains before the end. This is just to allow space for your strap. If you have gone right to the very end, that's totally fine. Just unravel, just pull on this end with your hook out and just unravel a few chains. If you want a thicker strap or a thinner strap, you can sort of adjust accordingly, but 2 is the standard. And that's the pattern I'm going to follow from here. You just want to chain, I'm going to chain 60 for the strap height, but you can adjust. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, okay, I've chained my 60. You can see here roughly what it's going to look like. So what you want to do is you want to slip stitch into the opposite second chain from the end, or if you've done more chains away from the edge, just replicate it on this side. Just to make it easier, I'm going to work on the same side as the strap. So second from the edge, so second chain from the edge on this side is this one here, and I'm just going to do a slip stitch just like that. And then now I want to do a single crochet into this next stitch on the bag like that, and then turn your work and you're going to start doing single crochets back up the strap chain. Okay, we've gone all the way along that strap there. Now we're at this first side again. What we want to do, you can see I've done the last single crochet in the strap. We're just going to do a slip stitch into this first stitch on the bag, that's our slip stitch, go into the next one and do a single crochet, turn your work, and then we're going to start doing single crochets up this side now. Okay, I've done the last single crochet in the strap. Once again, slip stitch onto the next stitch on the bag, and then a single crochet next to that. Flip your work and then work back up this side of the strap. Okay, that's the last bit of the strap. I'm going to slip stitch into the bag and then single crochet in that next stitch along. And I'm just going to put a stitch marker in this loop I just pulled up, just while I'm having a look at the bag. I don't accidentally pull that out. But you can see here that the straps are, 2 stitches in from the edge, like that. And then if I flip it over, so now that we're done, what I'm going to do is just chain 1 and cut the yarn. Now what I would recommend from here, you've got the ends down the bottom here that we need to weave in, and then these ones as well. So you can use like a one of those crochet needles, those rubber ones, but I tend to just use the hook I was using for the project. So you can see here, the yarn is going in this direction. So I'm going to put my hook through the next stitch on the top, grab the yarn tail and pull it through. Go into the next stitch, go into the next stitch and then pull it through again. So I've weaved it through just enough. I'm going to go into this same stitch I just weaved it through and weave it through again, and then cut the yarn. So with this tail end, what I'm going to do is put my hook through from the inside, grab that tail end and just pull it in like that. So it's seamless on the outside. And then in the inside here, it's already sticking up. So what I'm going to do is just cut a little tiny bit off, just like that. So now from the outside, it's all seamless and it won't come undone either. And there you have it. There's the final bag. I'm very happy with how this one turned out. I really liked the color combination. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. You can, that's the inside. You can, if you like, sew on a button and then crochet a clasp, or one of those clip studs in the inside. I've done both before, and I think I might leave this one as is. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'm more than happy to answer them down below. If there is any other tutorials you would like me to run through, please let me know as well. And I'll see you in the next one.